everyone. It's another great day again. I'm always very excited to come in here and see as many people who are thriving, to see that they are getting better when it comes to probably their monetization, as well as growing financially as well. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so today is another amazing day, and we're going to be discussing essentially reset, community building. Just a quick wrap up of what we did yesterday. We talked about the fact that for you to even build any community at all, it's always very important that you delineate some of the things that you can do yourself. What is then the next thing you probably find out is what is that one permanent thing, or what is the standard for a particular community. Okay, I think I can see someone now. Hello. If you're here, please can you just leave a comment. If this is your first time, you're welcome. Just let me know whether it's your first time. It's going to help me with my conversations as well. But then I appreciate your coming early. Yes, thank you so much. I love that power tap. Oh, Rhoda, good to see you. Good evening. How you doing? I don't know. Initially, it was like my network was giving me some problem. I don't know. It's not really loading. But if you can hear me crystal clear, just help me know. Oh my God. See, amazing people. Lord, you're all welcome. Please talk to me. How has the assignments been? Do you think that the assignments are overwhelming? Please, people should let me know. And just power tap while you're listening. You're probably answering the question. You can power tap like 3 to 4 5 times. Then you see the love emoji. Just click on it, or any of the emojis that you're comfortable with, so that we can start our conversations. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. So please, you all should just let me know. Please, how has the assignment been? Do you guys think it's too tough? Do you think I'm too fast? So this is me probably taking a few feedbacks before we conclude today's classes. Ewo. Oh my goodness. And I think happiness, you've been following up. Oh. So I don't know if people have not been following up. I wonder what will happen. Okay, just tell me, how is it overwhelming? What do you think I could do differently? You think the assignment should be shorter, but the assignments are very short too. That's what my mind is telling me, but like I trust you guys too. I don't know why my notes are not loading. Yay, Fumi, good to see you. That's lovely. Okay. So please, anybody else, please let me know. Is it overwhelming, so that I know what to do if I need to break it down? Now, tomorrow we're going to do video editing. That one is it's going to be another overwhelming one. So I don't know what do you guys suggest, so that... Okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. So, but then, is there any other suggestion? Does anybody have any suggestion? Anything you think we can do differently? There's no challenge. I'm very open. So that today we'll just do exactly 1 hour. As I have a lot of things to do. I think I made the mistake somewhere. My TikTok post, something is happening. I don't know whether it's my phone or something. Anyway, thank God. I'm also celebrating today. My sister sent me a new iPhone. So you guys are not going to rest on these streets, as is content creation on all levels. But one of the things I had to do first of all was to make sure that iPhone was not a limitation for me. You know, most people, they will say, it's a kind of phone. I made sure all those contents you guys have been seeing was from my Redmi phone, right? I've always been somebody who didn't believe in having an iPhone. Maybe let me confess. I've never really believed in having an iPhone. So what I did was, when the money for my iPhone came, like severally, I've had like more than 1 million. What I would do is either I buy lights, or I buy camera, or I buy what else did I buy? I bought different kinds of lights. I bought a camera. What else did I buy? I was just buying things. But an iPhone, I made sure I didn't use the money I had that came in bulk for an iPhone. Somehow, I guess my siblings, they've been seeing my videos every day, and there was one video that I made. I was saying that you don't need an iPhone. So I think that was the one that struck the camel's back. And next thing I heard was my sister called, and I didn't even know anything about it. She paid every single thing, and today my phone came to me. So I'm just hoping that it's not that's why every single time I try to speak to us, your provision is in your doing. So if you still feel overwhelmed, like, okay, you don't have this, you don't have this, just start. The thing is that the population of people requiring people who are doing something is more than the people who don't do. So I told you guys, okay, I think it's a video that's going to be out tomorrow. 90% of people are not doing nada. They're not creating content, nothing. So when all of a sudden you are now carrying it on your head, it will be very obvious, and somehow God will start orchestrating things to come to you. So I guess that would be my primary what did they call it, testimonial. And guess what, this my particular sister has sent me money severally for an iPhone, and I spent it on something else. Every time even my husband has sent me almost #1,000,000 on 2 different occasions, right? And I spent the money. So officially they left me because I just made it clearly like this is not my priority. So this time around she went ahead to buy it without me being involved and then sent it. So that's why I'm saying that most times it's very important that you already start doing something. Even with your Aquala phone, like your blurry phone, just start, so that, like I told you guys, maybe tomorrow we'll do a lot of that presentation, so that you see how we can use InShots and upscale. Like I told you, even graphics designing. Now I've started doing most of my graphics myself. Even the graphics for this event, as yes, the regular YouTube thumbnail graphics, I did everything myself. I just don't want to feel like anybody is in my way of getting something. Now I have a friend, maybe let me just us a bit before I go into the comment session as well. I have a friend who we all of course, when we started what's the word, Phoenixgate, she joined my community and all that, and then we started working together. Next thing we did was that I got a graphic designer who worked on a few things for me, and so I referred the person to her. Guess what happened? After referring the person to her, we all started our YouTube journey. She insisted that she wanted the person to officially work for her, so she kind of employed the person, and she was paying the person, I think, it's up to 6 figures. Yes, I referred the person actually, but she's in the UK anyway, and so she agreed, maybe because she's actually deep into the medical system, so she doesn't really have much time. So she got a graphic designer on board whom she is paying currently 6 figures per month, and this is like around, I think, was in March. Guess what, even one video has not been out, and exactly what I was trying to dodge from the beginning. And it's not because the person is not a very diligent person, it's just that he has a lot on ground. He even told her before she came on board that he might not cope because of the kind of things he's doing currently, and she said she didn't mind. And for me, that's why I started learning literally everything myself, because see, you need to pay attention to your seasons. That's the word. Now let me bring myself all together. Like I said, today I'm going to have really a very short time because I have a lot on my plate. But this is one thing I'll tell everybody, right? Understand your season, understand the season you're in, and like hold it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, right? Hold the bull by its own. Yes, that's the word. Did I almost do the H factor right now? Hold it by the horn and start doing and learning as much as you can learn within the short time that you have. Because like I told you guys, I have a lot. So in my next phase, I have exams to write, my master's exam. I'm graduating this year, right? And then I have other things, my business. I'm flaunting my on-ground business before December, because December is already peak sales, and I need to get a new outlet, which is going to be broken down into 2, of course, Phoenixgate, and then my life product aspect to all be in the same showroom. That's what I plan to do. So I'm writing a whole lot of things. My mind is not even in one place. So the fact that I even show up here, I think it's a miracle. Every single day, I just know that there's somebody that will be needing this knowledge that I have. And rather than me not putting it out there and people not using it because I'm super busy, I'd rather just come on live and teach, and still, like, most of these teachings will still have shorter videos, like a shorter condensed videos, but this will definitely be me pointing out myself. I don't think it will be the same. My short videos are essentially aesthetics, and just so that I am keeping my long form consistent on this place as well. So let me just look through what we've been discussing. Let me see. Good evening. Okay, that's great. I wish you good luck. Okay. Oh my goodness, happiness. Oh, you guys have exams. Oh, okay. I think this is the same thing with me as well. I'm also having my project. In fact, I just finished writing one. The one that you people helped me share, right? You guys helped me share that time. I actually wrote a project while I'm doing all this. I'm just saying that I'm not saying that you have to be like me, okay? And plus, I have 3 children, and I don't have anybody nursing with me. So you rarely see anybody, maybe young person, pass by my back or try to help me. I wish I had, but I don't know. Based off of how I grew up, I'm not really in that best place to accommodate anybody extra in my house right now. Okay, when I was growing up, it was a whole total mess. So I think I'm still trying to get over the whole scenario at that particular phase of my life, right? And then for me, I made up my mind. If anybody has to come to my house, it has to be any of my friends, anybody very educated, anybody who has the mind of Christ, in the sense that the person will be able to give, and the person who just loves kids, and you know the kind of bill. So that person might literally be earning my salary, in the sense that if I get it, I'll give it to the person, because the person really has to be passionate. Because most of these young girls that we bring to our house, some of them are already confused about life. Some of them have been molested in the villages and all that, and wherever they are coming from. And when they come, they'll think it's a regular practice, because the truth is, when you're a young person, you have hormones are normal. That's one thing most parents don't teach. There's a particular phase in your life where you generally get more aroused than other age brackets, and most times those young girls, I think there's this one of my videos that will come out either tomorrow or on Sunday. It's about a young guy who was also brought to a particular city. I think he's Jos, I'm not so sure now, but he's a young guy. He's not even up to 18. He was brought by his parents to Jos so that he can learn trade, as in he's living in a house learning trade. Guess what? This guy has pregnanted 12 ladies and also slept with the child of the boss. Anyway, let me not digress too much, but I'm just trying to tell you guys what is going on right now and why I've just decided that I'm going to stretch. I don't know how it's going to be, but I trust God, because every single time, every one thing my husband always tells me is that no phase will last. No phase will last. So the only thing is, every time something tough is coming at you, the best thing you can do is make sure that you're finding ways to realign yourself properly, not to lose anyone, right? So please, if you have exams, make sure you write them. You will not always have the chance. That's the truth. And then so many other things. So I'll say congratulations to all of you. Okay, so I think there's some form of lag. It's now that some of us are seeing it. Yes, Arabia too. That's what happened. So the guy right now, I think he was taken to the police station, but then he's not up to 18. He's not up to 18. I think I have a video on it. I just need to edit that video and just send them out to my other channel, because currently we're doing the X Health in the other room on TikTok. So please, if you're not following me on TikTok for that particular channel, please do, because now we're not even talking about the fact that 12 girls are pregnant for an under 18-year-old. We're also talking about the fact that he probably would have contracted an incurable disease as that early. Then how about the young girl who might be innocent, whom the boy was brought to meet, whom he has slept with? So that's just it. It's always very important that we know the kind of people. It's very important that we know the kind of people we bring to our homes. That's why no pursuit. That's why for me, I decided to pick on remote. Yes, so me getting back to, so some of you are asking, how am I having lots of ginger? I'd rather be at home with my kids, right? Sometimes they might be in the waiting room, or they are playing, and I'm at home with them, than probably tossing them somewhere else and not knowing what is going on. And some of our parents have pursued career to the detriment of our children. And some of these people that we bring, like I said, now, if you probably find that boy and you interview him, the next thing you probably will hear from the boy is that he was consistently molested in the village, and he probably thought that that's the normal way of life. So that's why, even if you bring people to your house, ensure you do X education for them. Even if you bring young persons, anyway, that will be for my other page. Please go ahead and follow that TikTok, because I'm going to do all those education there. I also, like, my husband is a urologist, so everything X Health, that's what we do. So he's going to be helping me with a lot of consultancy knowledge, why I break down the simpler knowledge so that a lot of people would literally pay attention. I know Sam is saying he'll be sent to a juvenile home or corrective center, but the question is now, to be fair, what if what he's doing to other people was what was done to him? So who are we going to blame? So you can see that life is just, the only thing is, rather than waiting to correct, it's better as much as possible you shine your eyes, protect, have CCTV if you can afford it and all that. And that's what a lot of my friends are doing. They have CCTV, then they're at work, they are watching home from their phones. So I think that's another big one. Okay, so back to our conversation for tonight. So somebody, well, let me just probably stem my conversation from this. Now, let's say I want to build a community of X health awareness now, because obviously we're now seeing a menace how this can be so bad. Just imagine that a guy who is not up to 18 years all of a sudden now has 12 kids, because apparently they said he impregnated 12 ladies. So this particular guy now, who is not up to 18 years, has 12 kids officially, except maybe they decide, I don't know what they will do with the pregnancy, but they packed all the girls and took them to the police station, and they took him as well. So let's say that, obviously now for my conversation this night, you already are seeing that this is a pain point. Okay, a lot of people are not educated properly. A lot of people's innocence are taken because people don't enter adulthood purposefully, like, okay, being that whole joy of being able to wait and know that, okay, at this time T in your life, you probably just gave in because you got married or whatever circumstance, that you were probably just deceived into it, or you were I don't know how to explain it. There are a lot of pain points around it, so I'm going to pick one. Just imagine that these people, especially because of what happens in the village now, these are the regular things that happen in the village. Number one is that most times those guys, they are not doing anything. So an idle man is the devil's workshop. So they are not stretching their minds. One of the things I've figured out is that literally, when you are pushing any narrative in the sense of you're growing, you're producing results, you're trying to do content, your mind will be consumed. In fact, as you grow older, you find out that your libido keeps going down, right? So it means that, okay, because you now have official things that will be taking your thoughts. But then in the village, a lot of them are broke. They're not even bothered. Nobody has any form of drive. So it means that, okay, there should be some form of, even the idleness in the village is part of a pain point that maybe most people will not understand. So we talked about our 4 phases yesterday. So problem unaware. So people don't even know that it's a problem. The fact that people are idle in those villages that can make them start thinking of this kind of wickedness is already a problem. So number 2 is that, okay, now let's say that eventually they come to town and you brought them to your house, and all of a sudden you now start educating them on their X health. Now one thing that will happen is that oftentimes now they now know that this is a problem. But if it's somebody who was what do they call it, molested for the longest, it will mean that the person would definitely need some form of therapy. That is where solution awareness starts coming in. So sometimes the people that they stay with might not even know what kind of solution. So if there's somebody who is called into that niche right now that I'm talking about, right, it will be easier for the person to now plot these graphs when they are curating their communities. So I'm grateful that even the example that I'm using makes sense, because I can literally take from that just into this place. So anytime anybody would want to curate a community in the sense of maybe X health, the first thing is to draw a chart. And I've told you guys, when you are curating a community, right, go to the bottom. So yesterday we talked about pain points. Go to the bottom of it. Find the emotion of it. So you can see that while I was talking today, some people already put some emoji, and I was not even energetic about it. The truth is, actually, I'm very tired, right? And I have a lot on my plate. I wish I'm actually sitting down nearly on the ground right now. Okay, but this is one thing I would want everybody to know, right? The thing is, now you need to transfer that emotion. You must transfer that emotion to the people in your community, or else you will not be doing justice, because most times communities are positioned for the long haul, right? So I said it again, from what we discussed yesterday, we talked about pain points. So you need to find out in your niche. So I've just told you guys, for X-Held right now, the pain point is, now there will be 12 children now, like from a boy who is not up to 18. The question is, if those kids, if everybody's parents insist that they will not want any form of termination, does that mean that this guy is literally going to have 12 children before 18? And I can't wrap my head around it. Now, another challenge is that his parents are broke. That's why they sent him from the village to Jos, where he needed to probably try to learn a trade. Obviously, for anybody to get to that point, like I said, he might have been molested for the longest. If we hear the stories from him, he probably would have started, the molestation will not start anything less than 2 years or 3 years. See, I'm already transferring the pressure, like the emotions, down to you guys. That's exactly what you're going to do when you want to create a community. You don't give yourself that gap. So I'm saying it again because a lot of us might want to create a community, and then when you are creating and see guys, I've not even started putting my head neck deep into the whole X-Health thing, right? I've not even started. When I sit down and I study and I build frameworks for that particular, for the community I'll eventually come up with or partner. I think there's somebody in our community right now who does something. Her own is for X abuse. She is head on X abuse, so she is preventive. In fact, I think was it last month she did a nationwide campaign against X abuse, so she is in prevention. So but this one that I'm doing right now, if I am going to come up with a community for that particular X in other room, then it means that we're going to start from educating people to partly the consequences that will happen. Now this boy, less than 18, has 12 children officially until otherwise proven, except anything happens to any of those women, right? Or we can now start talking about him having tests and all those ladies going for tests, because somebody would have carried something. And especially if his exposure rates, like before he became adult, if it has gone on, like let's say he's been abused for nothing less than 10 years, the likelihood of him getting other infections like HPV and many other bad guys might be worse than even, in fact, in this case, you can even say HIV is more like a bonus. It's not the main thing, okay? So I'm already painting a picture of the worst that it can get. But for some of the products that people are using, let's say for public speaking, you can start painting pictures of the possibility of all the great things that could come out of this community. Like I told you guys, align all of them. First 15, first 20. The ones you can do, put them as your modules, your first few modules. So module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5. Like I told you, when you are getting people into your community, be clear on what you're going to be offering them, right? So clarity is one of the main things you should state out clearly, okay? So when we're done with this particular phase, just like what we did yesterday, if you missed it, I've tried to probably bring us back into the lieu of what we did yesterday. Please, if you missed, just go back and see how you can improve yourself right there. Okay, so now what I'm going to add right now is, supposing we have gotten clarity and we know how, we've learned how to communicate emotion, we have a brand identity, always have a tagline, because like I told you guys, from the pyramid of Maslow, we saw that the sense of belonging is also very paramount. It can be the difference between why your community might be bigger than other communities. Right now, because of the phase I'm in, right, I've not had much time for the sense of belonging. So what I just did essentially was I just accepted my fate. Okay, anyone that I can offer, I will offer it as I pivot. Okay, while my kids are coming up and while I start getting all the help that I need, I can start pivoting, start adding many things. But based on what I can afford right now with my time, I'm going to be offering this, I'm going to be offering this, I'm going to be offering this. If I can just show up at least 1 hour a day for them, right, for my community, it makes sense. So that's where the challenge came from. And so, okay, I don't have to, if there's any relationship, like all the people who have chatted me up personally, because all those videos that I'm curating, I told you guys, ever since I started curating the videos, I started having more people, even my friends, coming into my DM to say, oh, that this looks like what they would like to do. And that was why today, if some of you who saw my WhatsApp status, I say, I wrote it outrightly. I was somehow jabbing them. I said, you are broke, but you are shy, in the sense that you don't want to do video. So this is me also double jabbing some of the people who did, when we said you should do the screenshot assignment, right? You should record how you created a video. You should create a video. Those of you whose faces are not on your camera, anybody can take those videos and do anything with them. Like I said, it's not bad. You can give it away, right? But it makes sense that people can literally see you and know that this is the owner. And I told you guys, it's very simple. Even with CapCut, you can add makeup to your face with CapCut. So the goal is not necessarily, we're going to do all that tomorrow. Everything, I will still do practicals of my sharing my screen here from my laptop, or I will share my phone or my laptop, anyone. But tomorrow, just know that we're going to do a videography class. And then once we are done, the goal is just to break it down for you. Then we have a course. We have a 5 hours course on this platform. So you can just look for it and sit down and just learn. The goal is make sure that you are showing yourself to be comfortable. If you are shy and broke, it's a double beating, right? So the reason why you need to do those videos is that you will get better at your communication. And most times the public speaking, maybe let me know if I'm saying public speaking. Every single time I say public speaking, it might be seeming like it's a highfalutin stuff. So let me say, your ability to converse before a camera can be the reason why you will close down a deal in more than $10,000 compared to anybody who doesn't. It just kind of gives you off as somebody who is confident. You just have to learn it. And I've told you guys, there's something called the teleprompter, so it's not hard. The reason why I'm discussing this part is because eventually some of you will get people into your community through different platforms. It's better you learn that, okay, even if it's one person I get from Facebook, that's how my mind works. Even if I post on Facebook today and it's just 3 people that react, and that 3 persons who react decided to click the link and they fill the forms and they enter the group, I have still won, because there is joy for over that one person who repents than over the 99 who needs no repentance. So that's one of the law of marketing. One very important law is that one particular person is enough. So you see a lot of us when we create posts and we don't see people on it, or we now see our impression is probably 100, we're feeling bad and we don't want to post again. That's where the loss is. So you need to start treating people like this one person. Once I can get this one person into my community, then I am doing excellently well. And that's what you need to do. So you treat people with exclusivity, as in, if I'm reacting to you, if I'm talking to you, you are the most important thing in my life now. That's why those people who do all this massive inbox, they'll just copy a particular post and spread it elsewhere. Even LinkedIn bans them. If you enter people's DM too much and you're sending the same post, it's seen as spam, and very soon. So some of you who are asking, how did you lose your account? My dear, that's exactly how you lost your account. You lost your account because you're seeming like your messages are spammy. You're sharing the same character, the same thing across to 10, 20 persons because you're desperate for a job. And I'm telling you guys, how about positioning yourself in such a way that people can trust you? See, some of the people behind some of those posts that you're seeing on LinkedIn, I've told you guys several, if you see them, you go just say, now waiting. So it literally means that you can actually change the course of your life by yourself. You just sit down and say, okay, this is one thing I would want to be known for. And we've already talked about personal branding. If you missed it, we did it day before yesterday. That was where we talked about how that you should be authentic with what you want to offer. So before you create any video, it's not hard. That video tutorial that I sent for you guys, or that I shared both on LinkedIn that people seem to like, and I shared it on YouTube, I shared it on TikTok as well. I did that video because of you guys. I promised that I was going to release it the next day, so I did not sleep. So that video, I did not even rehearse. I didn't even do anything special. What I just did was I used the prompt that generated my conversation with the AI generated voice, and I just acted it out. And I think I did that maybe 2 a.m., 1 a.m. after the whole stress of the day. That was literally what I was doing. But you will never know, because even when I have those stress lines, yes, that's the word, I literally used my CapCut to just erase it. I reduced this the pressure and the stress that I was emanating. The only thing I tell myself every single time I want to do a video is that I just tell myself that, Vivian, oh yeah, it's time to do this. So putting the energy, I just put more energy and I record. Once I'm done, I edit the next thing. Okay, so back to our conversation for the night. So I said, first of all, we have already decided that, okay, this is what we want to offer. That's why we did all that. So the next question is, who are the kind of people you want to have in your community, right? Community identity. Now, that one is very simple, depending on the platform where you're comfortable building at. Most of us here are from LinkedIn, and I said it's not bad. The fact that you're from LinkedIn is very good. So it means that there are certain kinds of person that will come into your LinkedIn, right? Because of your presence on LinkedIn. So the most important thing about that one is that, okay, it means that if you have generally not been posting or you've not been staying long enough on LinkedIn. So I've told you guys, the impression on your post on LinkedIn is directly proportional to the time spent on LinkedIn or the time you have spent in supporting others. So it's two different things. So anybody whom you see who has high traffic engagement, in fact, one of them, one night while I was awake, I would just be, in fact, two of them, I've noticed them. There are two specific people that everybody is celebrating, and they're thinking that it's about the content they're writing. Even though content, your positioning for your content is very important. But most times in the midnight, when I'm trying to edit and maybe create videos, I used to see these people commenting from one post to the other. So it literally means that these people comment from, like, let's say on an average of midnight till morning. Some of them, they wake up 4 a.m., they comment till 7 when they are going to post. Those are the things that make the algorithm favor you. And if you consistently do that, the algorithm will double favor you, right? So I'm just trying to demystify it for you. So if you're looking to launch your community in a particular week, the best thing is for that particular week, from Monday, plan it. That number one, the first thing you're going to do is that you're going to announce your posting time. You're going to tell everybody that, okay, I'm going to be showing up at 6 a.m. daily. So that's number one. So from Monday, if you notice, the impressions are measured per week. So except where an external force is acted upon. External force means maybe you posted and somebody shared. Yes, people can give you their impressions. Very, very important. So that's why when you give value, you should always ask that people help you share, because most times if you are producing value, that means you might not really have as much time to spend online. So you ask. That's why most times when I post, I always request that you guys should help me repost, because it helps me a lot so that I can focus on the things, maybe like preparing the course, ensuring that I'm setting up new curriculum and all that, just to make sure that everything comes out excellent. Okay, so Zach, good to see you. Okay, so guys, today I'm really going to close early. I don't know, I think I'm exhausted, but let me try my best. I'm putting all the energy that I have. Okay, so I said again, depending on the platform that you need to bring people in, you might need to choose a particular posting time for that particular week. Let's say you want to launch your community by the end of next week. From this week, 6 a.m., you're already coming out. You know what's on your mind. You might decide to comment up to 5 hours, 6 hours a day. I'm saying for LinkedIn people, right? Just tell yourself that this is what you want to do. So by the time you get comfortable, your impressions are building. At the peak of your impression, you strike it hot. So we've already talked about Google Forms yesterday, and literally everybody who was live said they could already curate Google Forms. So the thing you must make sure you do is that you ensure that you collect these people, because you're putting in your energy. So all those people that you're seeing having impressions, so long as they are not collecting people daily, they are on a long journey. Okay, so I'm saying it again so that you can comfortably also tell your friends. You have 20,000 followers and you don't have an email list, right? And you don't have their phone numbers, or you don't have them in the community. You're just joking, because LinkedIn does not care, right? Any single time you start, okay, oh, good to see you, Esther. Good to see you, Thriving Digital Mom. I really appreciate you. Good to see you, Zach. You're all welcome, guys. So anytime you probably start getting busy because maybe you got a contract, usually that's what happens to me. Every time I get a contract, it means that, okay, my dwell time is going to reduce on any of these platforms. And once it reduces, nobody send your papa. right? Even if you schedule, it's a waste of time, because the only thing is that you can just schedule for the sake of consistency. What I always tell my students is that you can always copy and reshare. You can always copy those what do they call, when you now eventually have time, you can always repost those ideas. But the only thing is, make sure that you have an idea going out, so that you're able to also say that you were able to keep your consistency. Okay, so we've talked about platforms on where to garner people. Now the third will be platforms where we will now host our community. So you have to decide, where do you want to host your community? Do you want to host them on WhatsApp? Okay, WhatsApp has its thing. Okay, when you host on WhatsApp, when people leave the group, the good thing, I think the best thing that's happened to WhatsApp is that even if people leave, you still have access to their numbers. So you can as well send them messages anytime you want, right? Provided they pass through your group. So essentially what we are saying is that it's a very good victory. Now, another thing will be email list. So we've talked about WhatsApp, email listing. Well, email list is good to have, but one of the things I realized is that most people in the global south, I'm not going to call the country, they don't used to open their mails like that, right? They don't used to open their mails except during weekend, except maybe you position your newsletters to drop at weekends, or at times when you're thinking that maybe people might be wanting to look at their mails. Okay, so that's email newsletters. So for me, what I normally advise my students is, whatever it is you're curating, make sure you collect phone number and collect email, and put it as compulsory. So when you're curating your Google form, just click that required. You'll see a place where you turn on the knob required, so that everybody must release either their numbers or their phone numbers. So I'll tell you, preferably use phone numbers, so that you can as well just create a campaign, and an SMS campaign. An SMS campaign will do amazingly well compared to an email campaign for the global south. Take it to bank and cash it. The only difference is that, okay, for the email, you might have to pay MailChimp if you have maybe more than 50. I think for MailChimp is less than 50. You can send 50 newsletters every day. So if you plan it, that means an average of 750 persons per week. Yes, if you plan it properly, 750 persons per week. So that means it's just once a week. But if you want to send the newsletters daily, that means you might need to buy a plan. I think, can I remember the plan now? I don't know. I attempted it one time for MailChimp. I'm not sure right now. But I would advise you, whatever you do, well, because MailChimp uses data, so you would think that probably newsletters will be cheaper because you're going to use data compared to SMSs, because SMSs now you literally you'll be charged per SMS. Anyway, bulk SMSs are also cheaper, right? So maybe people who have been doing bulk SMS, you guys should answer, what is the average cost when you want to run an SMS campaign? So, but me, I'm advising, if you want something that will stand the test of the time in the global south, please inculcate SMSs rather than just doing email campaigns. Okay, so we've done two platforms now. So we talked about essentially email listing, then we talked about WhatsApp, then we talked about SMSs. Please, I'm begging you, whatever you do, you see those people that you're calling community on any platform, they don't belong to you. The best you can even have from any platform is the people who turn on their notifications for you. That's the best. But the problem is that when they eventually block you, or they remove you, or some sets of people, maybe in a particular phase, you have to anticipate sometimes some negative seasons in business, right? Imagine Facebook all of a sudden deletes your account, or YouTube, or LinkedIn. Can you still have access to your clients without their interference? That's why, please, if you've ever been a part of this academy, please, you should have nothing less than 1,000 persons in your newsletter. If you are just starting out on LinkedIn, the best for you. It means that now everybody will just generally know you to be somebody who collects your people. So every time you're going to release that offer, make sure that you collect people. Now, another thing will be, there are other communities like Kajabi, Slack. lots others. All you have to do is, and there's a lot of AI communities, you probably just check them. For me, I'm just talking about the one that people in the global south are comfortable with, and you can easily just have access to them. Some people host their communities in Discord. Okay, Discord is another very good place, but I'll say it again, global south, people are not always there. Telegram is also very good. Telegram is for long term, and Telegram has memory. The only challenge with Telegram is that it's far off. Okay, except people deliberately go to Telegram, or maybe you make calls. Even when you make calls in Telegram, people have to go there to be on your live or whatever it is you'll be hosting on Telegram. They have to really be aware and reminded, unlike WhatsApp, where if I call you guys now, if I call the group, which I plan to do, we need to have a very short meeting tomorrow in-house, because we've noticed that we've not seen quite some persons. So if I call Telegram, WhatsApp right now, everybody can jump in, especially less than 33. Yes, so if you have a group of 200, you know that you cannot just dial and everybody will jump into the call. That's some of the limiting factors of SMS, right? I said SMS, or WhatsApp, but at least you know that on the average, for a new community, on average 30 people can just come on board. Another thing is that you can schedule it at different times. You say people who came in the morning, they should just you're doing a repeat class by 12. Like, one of the things I would advise again is that when you are hosting your meetings, especially starting out, try to host it within your original platform. So if you decide, if you're taking people to Discord, which I will not advise, make sure that you host your event on the place that you're taking them to. If you're hosting it on WhatsApp, make sure you take them on make sure, if you're taking them to WhatsApp, make sure you host it on WhatsApp. Those are some of the pitfalls. Then of course, when you are ready to start organizing some of your events, make sure you host events at traffic sites. This one, nobody will tell you anywhere. Okay, nobody will tell you anywhere. So you see people who are just starting out because they are trying to do imposter syndrome, they are trying to say that they are scared, then they'll go and be hosting meeting on Google Meet and Zoom. I'm like, okay, so in my tribe it is, are you okay? Like, why should you host a meeting on Google and Zoom? A dead end platform. Okay, nobody can casually. Now the reason why we're here is because somebody, okay, give me one moment. Okay, so somebody can actually just come into this live right now and just meet us here and realize that, oh, we show up here every day 8 p.m. GMT plus 1 for the next 30 days. The person can decide, oh, the person doesn't really know much about platforms, so she is going to, or he is going to be showing up to just come and pick and learn things. But when you do Google Meet and you do Zoom, nobody can casually find you. And this is probably my disclaimer: whoever is in charge or whoever has those companies, they need to do better, because people should just casually just find you, except maybe it depends again on the mission and the vision of the platform. Maybe what they are selling to people is exclusivity. But like I said again, as somebody who is starting out, you don't need exclusivity for anything, right? You're trying to exercise the law of the buy-in. You're trying to make people see you. Visibility is very important. You're trying to make people hear you. You're trying to make people feel you, like you. So you cannot, the goal is not that you should be staying somewhere that you don't know. So every single time, if you're here and you've hosted events and you hosted in Google Meet, now you sabi that one. Okay, if you hosted on Zoom, now you triple sabi that one. I think there's another one, Go Brunch, but I think Go Brunch can project, so you can actually go from Go Brunch and you project it to other platform. Now this is another thing that maybe I would want everybody to know as well. Most platforms don't like third parties. I'll say it again. So most platforms don't like third parties. So you can see that time to time, while we are doing our events, like what happened yesterday, we noticed that some crazy people just walked in and they were saying funny things, right? If we had used StreamYard or any other platform, most likely the algorithm itself would depress it, in the sense that it will just be only us. The way we are coming from our group, we'll all just come out here and we just learn about business, how to make money, and then we'll just go. There might not be any difference. It will just be also, anytime anybody goes, the person goes. There's no difference. You might not find out that there's any new person that will come in. It's just how the algorithm works. Everybody just wants you to use their property which is still okay. I'm just telling you people this skill sheets, but I mean, yeah, this cheats yes, cheat sheets. I'm just telling you this cheat sheet because truly nobody will tell you this when you're starting out. So I've told you guys, number one, when it comes to where you definitely host. Another beauty of hosting events in open places is that you can literally have more members. You can curate members into your platforms. Like I've told you guys from day before yesterday, have irresistible offers, because when you create some of these events, you can get people to work with you one-on-one depending on what your goal is. But the most important thing is being seen, being heard, being known. So you see some people around flying around this YouTube and many other platforms. When they come online, they are catching crews. Even on TikTok, every time I go on live on TikTok, I just keep asking myself, the one question I ask myself is, this thing that these guys are doing, will it be relevant in the next 10 years? Okay, if it's not relevant in the next 10 years, then whatever is happening here, TikTok king, blah, 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 if you don't find, because all it means that is that you're building within a platform. Okay, so it's just like me saying I'm a growth expert on LinkedIn. Growth expert on LinkedIn, meaning what? If anything happens to LinkedIn, I suddenly will become jobless. But the good thing is that, like I said, most of these platforms are well structured. But if we want to count on that, where is to go today? Where is BlackBerry? So I'm saying this now so that at the end of many years, you don't feel like you're used. That's why you need to position yourself. So this is probably me going back to personal branding. Position yourself to be relevant both online and on ground. I've told you guys severally, I've gone to speak in different places and I was paid 6 figures. It's not nyama money. And it's because I am positioning myself in such a way that, in fact, that is I told you guys that's what we're doing. As soon as this 30 days finish, bam, you people will just be seeing me move from one live event to the other. In fact, I've told most people who are contacting me, I've been telling them, okay, this is when I'm available, this is when I'm available. Just to make sure that you are relevant. Find the circle. Also find the on-ground, on-site, what's the word? Communities for your niche. On-site. So plant yourself into communities on ground so that you're grounded both ways. People know you online and people also invite you and pay you for your meetings. Get comfortable with speaking. I've told you guys, everything I'm painting for you throughout from day one, I've been painting longevity for you, because truly, right, personal brand thrives better when you're known for something for the longest. So I think I saw a post today by a Aproko doctor, and he was celebrating 10 years of posting about health. 10 good years of posting about health. And guess what? If any brand at all, healthcare brand, is thinking of probably pushing any particular narrative, they will not think about me that is just starting out, except I build a community that has momentum, like what we did at phoenixgateshq, where everybody, whether you like it or not, will hold your neck. So that's part of the advantage of community building. And I told you guys, most people will not teach you this because you eventually become a competition. Like some of you who are probably doing what I'm doing, you're welcome. We're literally going to be sharing the same audience now. And I told you guys again that there's nothing wrong with it, right? The only thing is, in every phase, define what purpose is for you and push. My own is that I don't want anybody to be feeling like, oh, they just started, that is why they don't have a chance at anything. And that's why I'm spilling it. I'm spilling it the way it is, hot. And sincerely, if you don't sit down with this material to marinate everything I've told you from day one till now, you actually will find yourself wanting, because these things I'm saying is literally unfiltered. Of course, a book is coming out on the 30th day, but I am literally going to sieve out a whole lot of things, because I'm not going to pour my ideation all completely at once into one book. What I plan to do as well is that I'm going to do an official launching of the book, but I'm going to pick some ideas and I'll still tell people to come here to come and watch. So it's even more beneficial for me that they come down here than reading it from my book. So I'm still telling you that while you're organizing those meetings, please pay attention to your tools. Okay, so we're still talking about community, how to get people in, right? Pay attention to your tools. Flyers, don't do anyhow flyers, because your flyers are your memorabilia. As much as it's within your power, just come up with something nice. If you have anybody in your circle of influence that you can pay at a more affordable rate, please pay. Me right now as I speak to you, my flyers, especially then when I could not even design anything, my flyers are like my portfolio right now. Once I arrange them like this, I have close to almost 80 events that I spoke, hosted. So my head is already hot. If you think I'm joking, I'll bring out flyers for you. I have a folder for my flyers, and then the kinds of flyers I have kind of gives off to you how serious I took whatever I was doing in the last 1 year. Probably you are not taking it serious. That's why you can just couple some 2 or 3 things. I've told you guys, if you do this thing that I'm talking about, right, anybody who would want you on board will literally be begging you. In fact, as I was speaking to you, I think a few hours ago, somebody from the UK just chatted me up again. I was telling me that please, he just needs an audience with me, because I will release videos every day. Do you understand? I will release videos every day telling people what I do, how I can help people's business, run them from start to finish, help them delineate their niches. I'm going to post every single day. So anything I'm telling you guys to do, I am not bluffing, right? So, but this time around, you're growing, you're better off than me, in the sense that I'm almost going to hit 20K soon. I'm at 16K plus, right? But I made so many mistakes. So I lost close to, I have now in my email list, I think I have up to 1,000 email lists, more than 1,000 email lists. And then I have communities. I have almost like 5 WhatsApp groups that can maybe communicate on an average into 2,000. But I lost completely more than 15,000 people. You don't understand the loss, right? So I'm saying this now so that when you're building your community right now, you're building with purpose. Your funnel excellent from your top of the funnel. Like I told you, you guys saw the forms you guys filled for this boot camp, right? The forms you guys filled was clear. From name everything, you will know that whatever it is that you're coming in to do right here, these people mean business. That's what you should do with your form. It's not that some of you now, you just go and scribble one thing and just put join me, then you just add your WhatsApp to the back end and people are entering. No purpose, no vision, no light. So I've told you guys, the advantage you have is that you probably have somebody who was telling you to come up with a name that better suits what you are going to offer, come up with a tagline that will bring some form of memories to your community. Then your giving aspects, make sure that you give consistently, find the way, time to time, give again. That's what I did. My cohorts up until now were paying, people were paying back to back, and I just decided, okay, since I'm going on another platform, how about I give this free of charge? And I told you guys, when I'm done with these 30 days, I'll still go back to paid. It will never be free again. So every single time you have an opportunity to step in, it's just God's mercy to you. And it's part of a way of rejuvenation. You guys know the story of the eagle. When the eagle starts getting old, it will go to another mountain, pluck out its feather, burst the oil under its pits, and rub it all over itself. And then it will regrow its wings again and it will soar higher. So the thing is, before you say anything fails, perceive the season you're in for your business. And I'll say it again, the ultimate goal is your portfolio. If there's anything that keeps me going every single time, is that I am going to tell people that I taught people for 30 days straight without break. And I kept my word. I came at the time I told them I was going to come. I don't come 30. I will not say, okay, because I'm doing it freely, I'm going to come at 8:30. Is that these are some of the things that will make up your portfolio. But if you read my portfolio, you just shout, and everything was on purpose. And more than half of those portfolios was gotten simply because I was not so insisting on it has to be money. That's why, even if some of you who came in quite earlier, once I came in on this life, I started talking, because it's still portfolio, right? I'm not essentially doing it because you're going to come in to watch me. Is that this thing is something that I have to do. Even if you don't come in and watch me when I am on live, I'm saying that countless thousands of people are going to have a hold on these materials. So this is the mindset you should have, the long-term mindset, right? So we now talked about, okay, please, if you have any questions, start asking, because I said today is going to be super short for me. Okay, so now we are done from, we've been able to delineate okay, the different platforms, the different advantages, some of the practices you should be doing when you want to host a community. Now the community, one of the main things you would want to, questions you want to answer is whether it's going to be free or paid. And this is some of the things that some of us, when we started, like I said again, some of the errors we made, we didn't delineate that early. Like I said, if you are a newbie, make it as free as possible. Okay, the reason why I'm not charging for these 30 days is because this is the first time I'm actually taking people through 30 days challenge with a one-on-one teaching, daily teaching. I know that this portfolio, nobody can reproduce it except they want to copy me. And if they copy me, they'll probably just need to increase the days. They need to make it to be like maybe 50 days so that it will sound like it's better. But having to teach every day as a coach, teach every day free of charge, you know that there's something that is in my mind that is beyond you guys just coming in on this live. So these are part of things you should have in mind as a newbie who is probably trying to build the structure in your organizations, in your community. Make sure that you decipher from the beginning whether you want it to be paid or not. My advice for a newbie is make it free for a limited amount of time. So you can just say 10 days, 15 days of free challenge or free community, 20 days free community, whatever it is. See, if you already have your forms excellently curated, the name of your community, your flyers and everything, people know visionaries when they see them. So it means that something about you has sat down and listened to all these messages, and you have now decided that this is what you want to offer. Once you start, like I told you, another advantage is, from what I said yesterday, please collaborate with people. Don't insist, okay, so the name of my community is the Honorables. Okay, this is me. I'm trying to remember Happiness's new community. So the name of my community is the Honorables, and the day I want to launch, I want to insist that I'm the only one that will speak. Please don't do that. Just find already people who are already influential on LinkedIn right now. Right, find a way to communicate with them, whether you send them emails. But I told you guys, if it's a global south person, you might just want to reach out to the person in their DMs. But if it's somebody in the global north, send them emails, ask them if they could come on board, that this is what you want to do. You want to offer a particular service freely. Put it there clearly so that the person will understand that there might not be an enumeration to this because you're actually offering it free of charge. So once you have done that particular one, right, the next thing you're going to do is have those excellent flyers, share it across, encourage all those people who are going to come on board with you. Tell them it's essentially a partnership thing that they should please share. Just like the way when you guys were registering, I told you guys that you people should kindly just share. We all need ourselves. I've told you guys, especially if you're late at any party or you seem to be busy. For me, this is one of the busiest phase of my life, aside from the fact that I'm nursing my twins and all that. I have a whole lot of things going on, so it means that I cannot do things alone. That's why every time I post, I ask you guys, please, people should help me share, because collaboration is what is needed. So when you're bringing them on board, don't give them of that picture that they will just come and show up on that day and come and start talking. No, please, this is some form of a collaboration. I will be needing if you would kindly please share this on your platform as well. And please don't do a useless flyer. If you do a flyer that is very bad, the person will not share. Just forget about it, because you are embarrassing the person too. So imagine paying for a flyer, let's say 5k, 7k, 8k, and like with somebody who is very good in your circle of influence. Because the reason why I'm saying 5k, 7k is because those people who are in your circle of influence, they might likely charge you cheaper because they know you. But then it's so fine that the person, whoever that you put their pictures on the flyer, will just say, wow, this flyer is so lovely, I better just share it on my platform. So it's, you will not force the person will just know that the quality of the people on this flyer, or the quality of the person who organized the event, is very, very important. So that's one of the things, again, that you need to do. So for your presentation, rehearse, prepare, curate. Don't say because you're the host you just be doing questionnaire. If you're a host, make sure that you're on camera. Any event that you're going to hold to get people on board, you must turn on your camera. If you need to go and get wigs, go and get. In fact, as I speak to you guys, I have something like this. I made like 4. I've been at 5. I just made it because generally I'm not a hair person. You guys saw my short hair, my natural hair from day 1 to day 5. I think I was not wearing wig. My natural hair, I just made my hair normal hair. I go just the waka, right? But you just need to just have something, anything that will make you feel uncomfortable as regards presenting yourself. Just fix it. This is me telling you. If you're the type that likes heavy makeup, do. You don't, then if you cannot do, you don't need. Do the one that you can. But I'm just trying to tell you, anything that would discourage you from stepping out, just be killing them one by one. Okay? So I said prepare the topics, prepare your in-between conversations. So when you give a question, have the answers in mind already. To your speakers, have the answers in mind already, so that once they answer, you can chime in, so that you're not there to escort them. It should not be that, oh, somebody is talking, then you disappear, then after a while you show up and you're answering. If you're not being seen, you're breaking a law. If you're not being heard, you're breaking a law. If you're not being felt, you're breaking a law. All these are the laws of visibility, right? Seen, heard, felt, SFH, right? I'll say it again. Seen is put the camera before you. Heard is some people do audio events, which is still lovely, but don't bank on it. Felt is based on your conversations, and then if you can afford a live event, which we're going to do as Phoenix Gate this year, we're doing a live event. Hopefully, we're looking at November, December. We're going to do a live event. So the goal is to increase authenticity, increase memorability, increase your bonding, and many others. So you have to really be a caring person naturally. So somebody now said, why? I told you that once you've gotten that portfolio, it cannot be removed from you. And guess what? Presently I can literally work anywhere with my medical certificate, with all the things I've been doing all around. And I told you guys, I paid attention to my low-hanging fruits. And that's one thing you need to pay attention to. So I am actually waiting for your questions. I've seen one question. Just let me on the questions. I'll just summarize a few things. Okay, so we've talked about community name. Make sure that the community name is memorable and it's hot. Have a name, a specific name. Like for Phoenix Gate, we call ourselves the movers, right? So you know that if you're here, you must be seen doing things, right? Something that reminds you that you need to work hard. You can come up with a name, a tagline. It's called the buzzword. Come up with a buzzword for your community. Then another thing would be, how do we get more people on board? Now, this is the most important part. If you are not listening to me so far, and even if this is the only thing you get today, then you would have won, right? In fact, that's the main thing I had in mind when I was coming to live today, before I now started talking about all the challenges and the pain points that we are seeing around, and people are not taking advantage of it. Now, how to grow your community. Have a clause. Especially if you are offering free, have a clause. I know some of you noticed that when you were filling those forms, I told you guys outrightly that if you don't share the post, right? I didn't even insist like the way I insisted when we started Phoenix Gate. When we started Phoenix Gate, we said it outrightly. If you don't share the post, we'll remove you. And that's what we did. We're removing people from the community if we notice that they refuse to post about us or they did not share. In fact, we did our publicity once every week. So if you're starting out, you might want to get as aggressive as that, especially if you have nothing that is actively taking your energy and time. You need to tell people, okay, this is what you plan to offer them, but in return, if I'm not asking for money from you, I'm going to be asking for this. And I told you guys, if you play your cards well, whatever it is that you're going to release as your condition, right, money cannot buy it. So I'll tell you all the momentum. I told you guys now, the 40,000 attendees at events, no money right now. If I want to spend any money, it's going to take a while to get that kind of, what do they call it, resume. And getting that resume for LinkedIn is wild, because LinkedIn alone, if you want to promote, right, you need to set, in fact, there are some promotions that you cannot set below $10 per day. You cannot set, if it's for conversion, this kind of sales campaign, you cannot set below $50 per day. Now, calculate it by the number of weeks that Phoenix Gate has existed. So that's what will start making you understand that even if people don't pay you as in fiat currency, you should be smart enough to know that, okay, these people, if they will post about it, if they're going to talk about it, if they're excited about it, then it's all the money you need, because right now you're kicking off as a community. Okay, so we've talked about your conditions. So another assignment, our assignment for today is essentially everything from the name of your community to everything you want, your vision, mission statement, brand story. Have a story that connects, a story in your life, something that somebody can literally cry when they meet you, or let's say on that day of your event when you want to talk about it, you can even simply just get emotional about it. You need to have a story. Just say that story. You need to meditate upon it. One of the mistakes I've seen a lot of people make is that they wait until event day, maybe a few minutes to event, and they start thinking about what they are going to talk about, and you are just a newbie. See, if you're a newbie and you're doing that, you just embarrass yourself. That's what happens most times when you invite people to come and speak on platforms. You find out that they're newbies. I think there was one that I went for. I swear to God, that girl is very funny. Even up to today, I was just asking myself, why didn't I jab this girl? It's just that me, I actually am a love person. I don't think, even if somebody wants to maybe deride me, I don't think there's any joy in me disgracing the person. Okay, so we were on a panel and we're speaking. Obviously, this person, when she was invited to talk on that particular topic, instead of her should tell the person outrightly, obviously because she has traffic on LinkedIn, the person who invited her just felt like, okay, she needs to bring someone because that person has traffic. But outrightly, she doesn't know anything to talk about on the topic. So when she was asked questions severally, and then we're moving, when it gets to my turn and I shine effortlessly, I think when it got to another round for her to answer, she now said, that she's not somebody that used to talk too much. If I wanted to be maybe like as petty as she was, I would just say, well, the thing is, you will not have anything to say. If your brain is empty, you can't say what you don't know. So this is me just saying it again. Don't even allow those kinds of comments come out in your mouth, because you're already discouraging the next person who probably will be in the life and hoping that they need to bring you because you have visibility. Now you're saying you don't talk too much. What are you doing on a public speaking event if you don't talk too much? So I'm just trying to probably jab somebody who is about to use that for an excuse right now. Okay, so is there any other thing that I left out? So yes, so part of the growth I said is that you would have conditions. Please write down your condition. Part of it you can even save it up on your WhatsApp, as when people are entering before they join in. What I normally do is that I lock every group that I open. I lock the group, in the sense that it's not automatic. As soon as you fill the form, you just find yourself falling inside somewhere. No, I make sure I lock it. I see you as you're entering. I'm aware that you entered because I have to let you in. It just helps me prepare myself emotionally, and it helps me also check my groups time to time to know the number of persons who have come in. That way I'm aware. Okay, so if you have any questions on community building, of course, like I said again, apart from posting on platforms, you can actually have a generic content. Like you can create a content, a flyer, whether a video to campaign. You can run ads. So I'm going to say this again, because I think sometimes when we're talking about organic growth, a whole lot of people are blind. They want to make people feel like, okay, if their growth is not organic, then they are not the real deal. Please, if you have money to spend, I've told you the price for LinkedIn, but TikTok is very cheap. I think TikTok for 1,000 views, 2,000 views is like 2,000 naira. So it's like one naira per view. So you can sponsor on any of these platforms, please, so that you don't have to be staying on those platforms, so that you can spend more time curating posts, spend more time curating your courses, so that you're not just engaging from one post to the other and you have nothing to show for it. Okay, so I think that's basically it. We have come to the end. If I missed out anything, no problem. Before the video class tomorrow, I will just update us. My notes, I don't know, something happened to my notes. My notes just disappeared, so I didn't even bother using it. Everything I taught you guys is everything I've practiced for the last 1 year with my community, and I taught you guys all my errors. So if you probably you slept off at any point, make sure you come back to check it from beginning, because these are some things that nobody will tell you. And as I speak, some of your faves are making those mistakes. So I'm having up to 1,000 likes and comments on my posts, and I'm not having them somewhere. I'm still depending on LinkedIn, because I'm hoping that every single day of my life I'm going to be free, so that I'll be chasing people up and down. That is an error, a very big error, and you really don't want to find yourself in that space. You want to literally reach out to your so-called followers, because I said it again, if you don't have their numbers and their email, anything for direct contact, they are not really yours. Then your community, those are the ones that you converted. So as much as possible, for any post, anything you're going to teach. So for those people, I think I still saw some people that posted yesterday online, and they still did not, there was no funnel around it. And I even told them, one of them, I wrote in the comment section, I said, we're going to see tomorrow. So number one, some of the mistakes that they made is that there no visibility, so they didn't see them in your videos. So please, as much as possible, show your face. If you need to do makeup, do. If you need to pass your video to TikTok, let's say you don't even know how to edit, you can actually post on TikTok, use TikTok edit. You know CapCut is attached to TikTok. If you don't know now, CapCut is attached to TikTok. So it means that you can literally change your skin, change your eye, change your nose, anything you want to change, you can change it with the CapCut on TikTok. Let's say you don't have a phone that can help you achieve that, so that you don't give any excuse. As you get to look finer, if you're eventually start getting comfortable in your skin. Now the thing is, again, with more giving, you become finer. That's what happens if you start giving often. And by giving, I mean the more you create content, the more you grow, the more people get to love you beyond your skin and your face, your clothes, what you have, your phone. You see that you become finer. So most people, that even stars that do surgery, I used to wonder for what, because already people have already bought into you, so you're already good to go. And the thing is, I've told you guys every now and then, be in the creator mode. Every single time you enter the same creator mode with God, a beauty comes on you, right? Every single time you spend sleepless nights, every single time you're creating those posts, you're preparing content, you're becoming more beautiful. You will not even need to bother yourself after a while. Everybody will not get comfortable. Oh, this is the person behind this camera. Okay, this is her face. This is Arike. We're comfortable with her. Whatever it is. If anybody, I know that there are people who will catch cruise, but that one is their business. Your own is that you're helping people. So I think, like I said, my notes disappeared. I would just check if I need to upgrade on any of the ideas that I said today. I will let you guys know. Especially, there were some AI tools I wanted to talk about that was going to help for communities. But because I've never hosted my courses on those AI platforms, I can't remember them now. But I just want you all to know that, okay, this thing is actually possible, right? So that you're comfortable. So for the presentations, so this, I can also take it as a little part of our presentation class. So that when you're going to have presentation, when we're going to have our competitions in-house, don't say that, oh, you didn't know that you were supposed to read, or you didn't know that you were supposed to bring other excellent people on ground. Just know that we've somehow discussed it. So I'll say it again. For our competition, all the things we talked about today, rehearsals, we're going to rehearse, curation of notes. All of you know Gamma AI. So if you don't know, it's Gamma, GAMMA. You can actually just pass any topic through it, and they'll curate excellent notes for you that you can use for your live events. Then you can sit down based on your experience, you edit them to have something excellent. There are many other even ChatGPT is provoking. Google Slides is the OG. So some people were, I think two people posted about, one posted about Google, is it Google Notes? I know two people posted about Google today. Google Slides, Google something. As much as possible, I advise you guys to pay attention more to AI tools, because AI tools are generally wired to be faster. So if you want to teach anybody anything, use most of those AI tools. That's why for me, even when I did my video editing, you know that those kind of edits, when they are using all those their big dogs, it will be a whole lot of work. But to know that CapCut can make it very easy like that for you, you need to make people understand that they can actually do something very easy. So AI is always your go-to. So maybe you might even want to type on your ChatGPT, ask it for a prompt that will help you know the tools that AI tools that are relevant for your own what did you call it? They are relevant to your own niche. So that when you're teaching, you just teach because AI saves time like mad right now. And for me, I take advantage of a lot of them because of my time. I'm really, really busy. So I'm going to give us a few minutes again for questions. Let me just look in and see some of the questions that we brought on board. Esther says, how do one get followers for one starting out on LinkedIn? Well, the good thing about starting out on LinkedIn is that if you're in a community, it's very, very easy for you. I tried to avoid all those sending of link things, especially even in my all my communities. I try to avoid it because it's also a source of band. Like people get restricted. You find out that people who go through one challenge or the other, most of them eventually get restricted at one point or the other. That's because of the pressured growth. But one thing I would tell you right now is, first of all, if you have started from day one up till this now, that means you've already decided what you're going to offer. By the time you decide, you've already studied people's profiles all across. We still have a class for that. We're doing job and email. We're doing project what's the word now? Project initiation next week. So we're going to do that. All of us, we're going to discuss profiles. We're going to optimize our profiles here. So it's not a challenge if you've not figured that out. You can also study people in your niche who are offering the same thing and just see how you can position yourself to look like them while you figure a lot of things out. Then for growing, you have to comment. You have to be commenting on people's posts. Then you need to send them connection requests, not followers. You have to send connection requests, because if you just follow them, they will not be aware of you. You will just add to the numbers. But if you send connection requests, especially as a newbie, people can now get to see you. And if you also want to grow, please pay attention to this. Especially our events are usually a growth spot phase. You see that all of you that would take the events very seriously, you will likely go into your next 1,000. If that week all of us, we push it, flyers come out, we all push it, we make noise everywhere, you find out that as people are seeing our names across platforms, calling our names, especially when I'm going to post, I'll post to my audience, I'll put your name in the list, and then people can get to see you. You find out that you grow throughout that week. If we push it for 2 weeks, every day, you see that most people would have joined you and you grow. But the thing again with growth is, please be patient. I'll say it again, when it comes to LinkedIn, you can achieve anything without followers. You can achieve anything without followers. And that's one of the deception a whole lot of people are hiding, or these growth experts do. They'll make you feel like, okay, if you don't have up to 10,000 followers, it's not like other platforms. LinkedIn is not like TikTok, where you have to have a number of followers. No, you don't need it. You don't need any. In fact, even to host live events, you don't need any numbers. The only thing is you apply for it. Once you apply for it, by turning it on your profile, you're good to go. I think it takes 24 hours for them to approve it. For YouTube, before you go live on YouTube, you need 50 subscribers. For TikTok, you need 1,000 followers. Those are the people that like growth, as in senseless growth. TikTok is very good with that. But on LinkedIn, even with your five followers, you can make money. Send emails, all the things we're going to do next week, you guys are going to see. I'm going to look, I'm just hoping that you've done your assignments so far. If you've been missing those classes, please go to the old materials, because you embarrass yourself. Just imagine sending mail to somebody and you're talking my tribe is saying talking nonsense. Imagine that you send email to somebody and you're talking nonsense, because even you have not figured out what you want to offer to the person. You just look stupid. So that's why I'm hoping that everybody here would have gone back. If you missed for team playback, if you missed at any point, go back and get yourself together in sense of your offering, how you can position your offering. Pay attention to the irresistible offer class, because you need to have offers when you're also, after you've already told this person all the things that the person needs to know. Can now make your own offer. Except you're a growth expert on LinkedIn, that's where we should start saying, okay, you need to grow. But if your niche is not for growth, don't bother yourself. All you need to do is to show up consistently, show up for people, comment, post at least once daily, and collect your audience. Posting once daily is useless if you don't have them somewhere waiting on you complete your decision. So make sure you have, even if it's one offer. So if I was those people that did that Google Slides, Google Sheets that posted today, if you notice in my post, I wrote say prompt. My prompt, for some of you who collected my prompt, you saw that in my prompt I collected your emails still, so that just in case those people are not part of this class, I'm not losing anybody that used my knowledge. And that particular prompt I created it myself. So if they are going to have it exactly that way, they have to use what I used, except they will just come up with anything. And not using prompt will make your recording very long. Like I told you guys that day, I couldn't sleep. It was 2 a.m. and I promised you guys that the video was going to come out the next day. So I just decided that I had to use AI prompt. And so I came up with that prompt, passed it, generated it, and I literally just read as I recorded. If everyone, I was just reading it and recording. And then when I put all of them into CapCut, I just cut the edges where I was trying to press my cuts and all that. So I'm going to ask again in next 2 to 3 minutes if you have any questions. So Esther, please don't be under any form of pressure. The most important thing, get your writing right, your content creation right. Decide whether you want video or written form. Decide both ways, especially if you're coming newly. It's better, videos might give you an edge. If you're a newcomer, right, videos might give you an edge because people get to meet you already. And now I saw a lot of ad this week. LinkedIn again has started the video campaign. They are begging people to start posting videos again, because after a while they stopped it. But now I saw an ad where one of the senior directors of LinkedIn was saying it herself, that they are really looking forward to see our videos. So I'm advising as many people, because people say there are a lot of fakes and bots. That's why your videos will make you stand out. There's AI video, but everybody knows an AI video when they see it. So I think there's no loss there. So let me take questions. Please, you guys should pardon me this night if I was not as energetic. I've just had a lot of work to do. In fact, as soon as this phone is going down today, there is no peace for the wicked. That's what I used to tell my bootcamp students. There's no peace for the wicked, because I'm trying to set up a structure. So I'll listen to this event again and see if there's any place I left out, because my notes didn't start up. I'll just take 15 minutes of our tomorrow's class to tidy everything up. Then we'll do videography class mainly. So I'll ask again, is there any question? Abirina, don't sleep. Some people will come on live and they sleep off. Where are all my happiness? Where is all my Esthers, all my Olamide, all my Zach? If you guys are here, let me hear. Do you have any questions? Roberta, when you guys come back, you will hear it if you were sleeping. Who else? Rabiatu, now don't sleep. Who else? Let me see. Rhoda. If people have any questions, if not, I am going to be calling it a night. I'll say thank you again for coming out. And thank you for coming out. I'll check my notes again. Once I'm able to find it, I'll make sure that I didn't leave out anything for the community building. But I've told you guys essentially everything I've practiced. So I'm giving you 2 more minutes. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any questions, please let me know. Our Sunday classes are always by 5, because we want to maintain the fact that we have been meeting at Phoenix Gates by 5 p.m. GMT plus 1. So I want us to still maintain that. So if we start the videography class, even if it's one video we're able to do, we can still do another videography class on Sunday. So I think what I will do is I will come up with a flyer for that, so that we can all just share it across LinkedIn, right? So we can have more people come on board, so that our 5 p.m. on Sunday, we'll use it for our videography, part 2 of the videography class. And I'm hoping that from Monday, I will just be seeing all of you doing your selfie videos. Like I told you, I bought camera, a very expensive camera when I started, but I realized that if I had paid attention to making videos on my phone, I would have gone very far, very, very far, because it's the easiest. You don't have to overdo makeup, you don't have to do anything. Just exactly what I'm doing. Just say, hi everyone, my name is, so today I'm going to be teaching something essentially. When you finish rapping, you say, see you again tomorrow next time. because it's very easy to do. People will trust that you even come back. Even you trust yourself to come back tomorrow, because what is required? Only put camera in front of your face and record, and then you move. Quality camera. You can make plans to get your iPhone if you want, but I've told you any camera will do. Any camera, even if it's 720p, any camera will do. Just pass it through CapCut and we're good to go. So okay, I'm going to be calling it a night. I'm giving us the 2 minutes. I was hoping that there was a lag, but I've not seen any question. So I'm going to be calling it a night in 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm a mover and you are here for my life. Please go ahead and like the live. Let's share it on our platforms, as WhatsApp platforms as well. Let's get more people talking about it. So I said the videography flyer will be out so that we can push it as well. Do have an amazing day, everyone. See you.